My dog, he got his cone off a couple weeks ago.
Oh, good job, Boomer.
And this is the music that plays.
Oh, yeah, because this is what my dog has turned into now that he's coneless.
Uh-oh.
My dog had a serious ear surgery a couple weeks ago where he had to have several sutures, got it removed. I'll save you the details, but he had to wear a cone for 3 straight weeks. Now that it's off, he's turned into like a superhero. The things that he's been doing the last week since the cone has been off are things that Boomer has never done in his nearly 10 years of life.
Well, do tell. Give us an example.
He's a super licker?
Now, this topic would be under the banner of the crazy things your dog did that got into, and you're like, what are you doing, man? 919-860-1015. A couple days ago, I heard this sound. We're upstairs playing with Sophia. I heard a sound downstairs. I didn't really think too much of it because we were back in our bedroom, didn't really hear it that well. Came downstairs only to realize Boomer was on our kitchen counter eating the rest of Sophia's muffins for breakfast.
Nice.
And these weren't just like little, Entman's muffins.
Costco muffins?
These were big boy Dolly Parton muffins.
Ooh, you got the Dolly Parton mix.
Yes.
Nice.
He ate 2 or 3 of these bad boys.
No chocolate, I hope.
He was no chocolate, just straight up blueberry muffin.
Okay.
He was licking his lips, but here's the Avenger-esque part in all this. I've never seen him do it because he's only a 25-pound dog.
How tall's the counter?
Like, how did you get up to the counter, man?
Yeah.
He did something I have never seen him do before.
Fly?
This little dog, and honestly, I was kind of impressed. I wanted to give him a standing ovation separately, even though I was annoyed. He turned the bar stool around. He turned the bar stool around with his paws. He jumped up on the bar stool to jump up on the kitchen counter to eat the blueberry muffin.
You know what happened is when he had that cone on, he had time to think and look
plot.
around because he wasn't licking himself all the time, and he was like, "Things are different now."
Oh my gosh!
I had an epiphany.
Yes. It's like when a normally good guy gets a bad scar and the world shames them, so then they become a supervillain. That 3 weeks in the cone
Boomer's
turned him
a supervillain.
into a supervillain.
Yeah, he really is. And
no!
I also bring it up because he did it again yesterday
No.
too. He always waits. He plots. He waits. He doesn't do anything when we're downstairs.
Yeah.
But as soon as, and it's funny now, I realize he does not come upstairs with us because if there's food on the kitchen counter,
he's getting it.
This is my time. And then once again, I heard the sound, but this time I recognized the sound. And then, of course, I went downstairs only to see that he had eaten whatever was still left on the kitchen
have to start clearing that
counter because he jumped up on the bar stool and he's just hanging out, licking his lips. Captain Boomer. Kind of salute you, even though 3 blueberry muffins for you, probably not the greatest idea. With that, 919-860, I don't want any more vet bills, all right? 919-860-1015. What did your pet get into where you're like, what in the world? How did this escalate so quickly? And he'll do it in like 30 seconds and it's done. Right, with that, we got Jill leading the way. Good morning, Jill. What was your dog's name and what did this dog get into?
The name of our pet was Jose, and he's been passed, but he was such a great dog. He's the bar which all the subsequent pets have had to kind of try to reach that bar, but he was a mutt puppy. He was everything that you could think of mixed up. He was just a great, sweet mutt puppy, but he had a talent for unstuffing marshmallow bags. He loved marshmallows.
So describe something that you came across one time, Jill.
Okay, so when you're walking the door and they've got that look, they've got that head is low, something has gone on, and you've just walked in the door and you're like, oh no, what is it? What's going on? Well, he had that look, and you walk in, and so you walk into the kitchen, and it's interesting you talk about the counter because what he had done was literally he had pulled the marshmallow bag off the counter, which wasn't that unusual because he was kind of big, but he had chewed a small little hole, sucked out every marshmallow, the marshmallow bag had been inside out, licked it, and we know this because there was residue of tongue stuff inside, and then righted it and put it back on the counter.
He's like, they'll never notice.
He tried to hide the fact that he had eaten all the marshmallows, but he was guilty for sure, and he knew it.
You're right, Sarah. Jose walked away from that being like, yep, they're not going to notice a thing.
I put it back. Yep.
If only there was a dog thought translator. I'd love to hear Jose's excuse or his alibi.
Or just the moment he realized it was delicious. He's
Oh,
like, that pillow, I've
he
been wanting to
knew.
eat it for so long.
Oh, God, I love
Jill.
your marshmallowy
He
sugar
knew.
pillow.
Jill, thank you for calling. So great to hear from you today. Have a good Tuesday.
Y'all have a great way.
If you have your own pet story, by the way, I love that her dog's name is Larry.
Jose, that's Jose.
I'm sorry. We talked to a woman that had a Larry a little bit ago. Jose.
Both names
my
are
bad,
awesome.
Jill. 919-860-1015 if you have your own story. I don't know if I've shared this with you guys before. This is not a dog story. This is a story that involves a raccoon of doing one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my entire life in the spirit of pets doing wild things. I saw this one firsthand. A long time ago, I actually went camping one time. I know, shocker.
Wow.
Why?
We were in a tent. I heard some sounds coming from outside my tent. I unzipped the side of the tent, only to look out. A raccoon had opened the igloo cooler that had duct tape on the side because we knew they were going to be coming up trying to get in our bins. This raccoon had taken his little tiny little raccoon claws.
They have the cutest hands.
They do cutest little hands. Lifted up the duct tape, and I swear to God, was holding a natty light in his hands.
That's an image.
Just let that soak in. That's one of those life moments I'm like, I can't believe I got to see this in person. Anyway, 919-860-1015.
Well, you didn't say, did he drink the beer?
No, he
But
got.
still, it's funny.
It felt like I was in a Will Ferrell movie because when he saw the light on him, he looked over at me and he dropped the beer. I swear it felt like I was in a comedy movie. And then he scurried off.
Yeah, because he was underage.
He was underage. Yes, he saw me, saw the light on his eye, and then he
like,
dropped
"Coppers."
Anyway, 919-860-1015. If you have your own story as well, it's Kyle, Brian, and Sarah on Mix 101.5.